Hello Mike, and thank you that you are supporting us by creating that video. In that video we like to show how to set up the MOBOTIX hub to be ready to get a notification from a MOBOTIX B7 camera with a pre-configured Vaxtor number plate recognition app. Can you be so kindly to explain us how to start with that configuration in the MOBOTIX hub?
Yes, of course. The first step will be under Tools, Options to activate the analysis events. So you have a setting here, Analytic events, and you have to enable it and define a port on which you want to receive the data from the app itself.
Okay, that means receiving it's now set it up, but before that we also need to activate in the camera to transceive the data. Maybe you can switch to that dialog and show us the required settings in the camera itself.
Yes, of course. Under the Vaxtor LPR app, you have the option in the reporting setting to activate a milestone analytic event, and you only must say, okay, on which URL, which IP address I want to send the metadata. So in this this is my PC, which the MX Hub is installed, and the port I want to send the metadata, which you can find also in the settings here in the hub, and you must define the IP address or the name you have set in the MX Hub for the camera who should send the metadata.
Okay, I understood. That means the IP address in the URL field is the IP address of the MOBOTIX hub. The port is that what I have defined in the tools under options under that analytic event tab. And the camera name could be the IP address, but could be also the name of the camera, like street camera or something like that.
Yes.
Okay, I got it. But what is the next step in the MOBOTIX hub?
So the next step is to create the analytic event. In this case, I prepared it before. So the name must be like this, the Vaxtor LPR on camera event. The MX Hub is listening on a special string of the metadata which are sent from the Vaxtor app, and so you must exactly use this name for the analysis event for our Vaxtor apps.
That means if I adding to your system another MOBOTIX camera with an activated Vaxtor app, all Vaxtor app will send exactly this string, and that is the reason why I need to use exactly that string. That a Vaxtor analytic event will be recognized by the MOBOTIX hub system. Okay, I got it.
Yes. So, and the next step, to create a rule for some recordings, for example, you have to go to the rules and edit a new rule. In this case, I name it license plate, and you have to perform an action on an event. So the event in this case is our analytics event, the Vaxtor LPR on camera event. You have to select this, and you have to define from which camera I want to use this event. So I can set a camera group, or in my case I have two cameras, to S74, and I click on OK. So the camera is, these two cameras are listening on this event in this case.
Okay, excellent. That is when the camera should start, but what should be then the action?
The action should be, in this case, I can define a time profile. In this case, I want to record or use this event 24/7. And the next step is to use what action I would like to prefer. In this case, I would start a recording. So I have the recording when a license plate is detected. I can say, okay, I have a pre-alarm or not, or record directly. And I have to define what camera should record when the Vaxtor Analytics event is triggered. So I can use the device from metadata, from the strings of the app, or I can select specific cameras in this case. Yes.
In that case, we're taking the cameras which providing the metadata. This should be also the recording device. That it's, I would say, the standard cases, but we have the option to choosing as well other cameras in the system. Okay.
Yes, and the next step is to define a stop event the MX Hub needs an event to stop the recording, I can use an event, a specific event to stop the recording, or in my case, I do not have a stop event. I select action after time. So I say, okay, perform an action after 1 second. And now I have to define how long should the recording be. In this case, I say 10 seconds. And so when I click on finish, the MX Hub will record after receiving the analytics event, a recording for this camera with a time of 10 seconds.
Okay, I think that it's quite easy. Of course, you need to do that once to understand the different topics which you need to take care of that configuration, but after that it's fine. That means finish, and then you have set up all the rules, and then the MOBOTIX Hub is ready to receive number plate events, analytic events from a MOBOTIX P7 camera with pre-installed app, and then after that the MOBOTIX Hub system can be used to identify that specific number plate events. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Mike, for your time, and have a nice day.